Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll show you step by step how you can install macOS Tahoe on a Windows PC using either VirtualBox or VMware, and the best part is, this works on both AMD and Intel processors. Running macOS on a virtual machine provides the ability to explore the system. Besides using Hackintosh, you can also use a virtual machine. I previously made a video on how to install Hackintosh on AMD and Intel. You can check out that video if you're interested in exploring Hackintosh as well. So, if you want to try out macOS Tahoe on your Windows machine, the video is the right for you. Okay, let's dive into it. To install macOS Tahoe on Windows, a few requirements need to be prepared in advance. The first requirement is VMware Workstation, which will be used to create the virtual machine. This tutorial will demonstrate the setup process using VMware. The second requirement is the macOS Tahoe ISO file. A pre-made VMDK file will also be included in the video description for easier setup. The third requirement is the VMware macOS Unlocker patch, which enables macOS compatibility on VMware systems. First step, download and install VMware on the computer. Once installed, you need to restart your computer before running VMware. Once restarted, now we will disable VMware services first. Open Task Manager on your Windows. Go to Services tab. Then stop the firmware services like this. Select the services and click Stop. Now we will apply macOS Unlocker to enable macOS on VMware. Download macOS Unlocker on your computer. Extract the Unlocker zip. Right-click on Win Install and run as administrator. If you see an error like this, you can fix it by installing Python first. You can download Python on Windows Store. Search Python on Windows Store and download it. Once installed, go back again to Unlocker and rerun WinInstall cmd. Wait for finished confirmation. Next, now you are ready to make a virtual machine for macOS. Then open VMware Workstation on your Windows computer. Click Create a new virtual machine. Choose Custom Advanced Setup. Click Next until you reach the Installer Disk Image section. Browse and select the macOS Tahoe ISO file. The ISO file can be downloaded from the description. Under Guest Operating System, select Apple Mac OS. In the version dropdown, select macOS 15. If macOS Tahoe is not listed, use the latest available version in the list. Now, name the virtual machine macOS Tahoe. Continue to the processor configuration. Select one processor and assign up to 8 cores. If your system does not support 8 cores, set the number of cores according to your hardware specification. Then allocate the RAM for the virtual machine. In my case, I will allocate my RAM for 4 GB. If your system has more available, you can allocate higher memory for better performance. After that, set up everything based on the recommendations in VMware or as in this video. When asked to select a disk, choose Use an existing virtual disk if you are using the VMDK file. If you are using the ISO, create a new disk with at least 80 GB of storage and click Next. At this point, the virtual machine for macOS Tahoe is created, and the next step will be to edit the VMX configuration before starting the installation. Then modify the VMX file by going to Document folder on your computer, then select the virtual machine name. In my case, I have created macOS Tahoe on my virtual machine name. Then find the extension VMX on the list. Open VMX in Notepad. Add these lines at the bottom like this. If you are using an Intel processor, simply add the following line to your configuration. For AMD processors, the setup requires additional configuration. Add the following lines. These lines allow the macOS Tahoe virtual machine to boot properly on AMD systems. The full code will also be included in the video description for easy copy and paste. Once edited, now click Save the configuration. Next, open VMware again and start the macOS Tahoe virtual machine by clicking on Power on the virtual machine. You'll now see the Apple logo after around 30 seconds. Once the installer loads, choose your preferred language and continue. From the macOS Utilities window, open Disk Utility. In Disk Utility, locate the virtual hard drive that was created earlier. Select the drive and click Erase. Set the format to a PFS and the scheme to GUID partition map. Name the partition and confirm the changes. Close Disk Utility once the formatting is complete. And back in the installer window, select Install macOS Tahoe. Choose the partition you just created as the installation target. The installation will now begin. This process can take 20 to 40 minutes, depending on your hardware performance. During installation, the virtual machine will restart several times. Let it boot normally each time until you reach the macOS setup screen. Once the installation is complete, follow the on-screen instructions to configure region, keyboard, Apple ID user account, and settings. At the end of this process, the macOS Tahoe desktop will appear, confirming that the installation has been successful. You have now completed all the steps, and macOS Tahoe is successfully installed on your virtual machine. If you would like to try installing macOS using VirtualBox, check out my other video or the link in the description. I have also made tutorials for other macOS versions, so you can follow those guides depending on which version you want to explore. And that's it for this tutorial. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next update. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.